Peace, what up? This is Doc Blake with Ethereal TV, bringing you the 47th episode of The Last Piece to the Puzzle. The motto for me is silver, gold, and cryptos equals freedom because they are decentralized assets and they're going to play an important part in the immediate, the short term, and the long term future, as we are already seeing. As you see my cover art, man, do we have some extremely interesting topics to dive into. The title says banks assist criminals with $2 trillion and the Pentagon steals. And this is a picture, an old picture of JP Morgan. I put the mask on here for, it's crazy. Like, all the news that's coming out is about the government doing dirt. But we'll come back to that. Let me do some house clearing real quick. Go to the Ethereal website and check out what we have to offer. My cousin's book is currently available. It's called Check This Out. It is about him going around the globe and writing about his experiences that he had at ancient ancestral sites and civilizations and things like that, bringing it to people's attention. It is also available on Amazon. For any merchandise, you can inbox me always, like I always say on all my videos. And with that being said, let's dive into the price action. And currently, we have Bitcoin at, let me give it a live refresh, $10,729.13. Ethereum is at $348.73. Polkadot is at $4.39. Chainlink is at $9.82. Finally stopped a little bit of the bleeding with Chainlink. It's been going down. But that's kind of expected after the parabolic move that it had. It went from, $3 this year all the way up to almost $20. So this is it looks like a nice healthy pullback for Chainlink. And let's talk about one of my favorite tokens. Oh, matter of fact, Uniswap. Let's talk about Uniswap. It's look like it's having a nice bounce. I actually want to get back into Uniswap. The lowest point that I sold my Uniswap was around $5.30. It's still lower than that right now, but I'm trying to wait to see if maybe ETH or Bitcoin, which I basically treat as my stable coins, gain a little bit more on Uniswap over time. But it has done a nice recovery. And as I said on my last video, Theta is starting to make its move. It hit up 65 cents today. It's currently sitting at 63 cents. If anybody got into that Theta congratulations on that. I've been talking about Theta for a while now. It's an easy buy. The technology is amazing. It's such an easy purchase to make, and at these levels, it's honestly still a really, really great deal in my personal opinion. And this is not financial advice, of course. Yeah, I think that's all the prices I'm going to talk about. I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to do any Krill coins today. We have so much to talk about today. There's plenty of good buys today as well, so you can kind of scour that yourself. But with that being said, let's talk about the price action a little bit still. I like to zoom out on the daily. I'm a person that tries to have patience in life. I understand that you're not going to get rich overnight, and you just constantly accumulate. You know what I mean? So there's much change in the charts. Am I going to show you anything different? Not really. Bitcoin made a nice move back up. It bounced back above the 10.5 level. Now think about this. It retested around the 10K level, got pulled back up immediately. Kind of in this, it looks like it's starting to put in a double bottom, and when this bottom is slightly higher than the previous bottoms. And I'm no master at technical analysis, but this looks really, really good to me at this current moment. If we hold these levels and have a nice couple daily closes above the 10.5 level, a couple strong closes above the 10.5 level, that's really going to display the strength in Bitcoin's price right now. and kind of lets me know that we really, really want to move back up. And like I said, if you look at this, to me, this touches this here, this line of the bull flag, and up here, this thing, the top and the bottom, and then you have this really big triangle. Like I said, you have to zoom out sometimes and relax. And if you trust the technology, you trust the creation, you notice things that have value in the world, then you're fine with these positions, with these prices. You're taking your time, you're accumulating, and you're laughing at everybody else in turmoil. Not laughing because it's a shame that people are so polarized on all types of events, not just crypto. People don't have strong hands in more than just crypto. But talking about crypto, we see that people don't have strong hands. They get scared in the moments like this. They don't buy, they sell. They bought at 12K and they're selling at 10K, and that is the majority of people. So you don't want to do that. And I think that's all I'm going to talk about with the price actions today. Like I said, Theta is pushing up, and who knows how high it can run. It's just getting started. It's having a nice steady climb, but I think eventually it's going to have a little type of blast off, lift off. Okay, so first little thing, and I'm not going to dive deep into these things. I'm trying to learn how to shorten my episodes. I'm trying to get down to 15 minutes at the most, but it's hard because this is my opportunity to talk and explain what I'm seeing in the world, actually, but through the eyes of the financial market, which has a very, very big effect on the world, as we all know, right? So, I talked about this a little bit in my last video. The banks help basically criminals move $2 trillion worth of dollars in the last 20 years. Really crazy that you can do 10 years for robbing a 7-Eleven, but these banks can rob and help criminals move trillions of dollars and nothing ever happened to them, right? I mean, really, really amazing. The world that we live in. It pays to be rich. It pays to do crime. That's what this teaches. Let's read a little bit of it. A cache of leaked documents suggests increased scrutiny on suspect transactions at banks does little to stem the flow of trillions of dollars linked to suspicious activity. Shares of the biggest global lenders fell Monday. A new investigation by the International Consortium of Investigation Journalists says JP Morgan Chase & Company, Deutsche Bank, ANG, HSBC Holding PLC were among the global banks who kept profiting from power and dangerous players in the past 2 decades, even after the U.S. imposed penalties on these financial institutions. So basically, the U.S. said, hey, stop what you're doing. They kept doing it. And now this is being brought to the surface for all eyes to see. We haven't really seen too much done so far. Let's continue a little bit more with the article. It says the documents detail more than $2 trillion in the transactions, $2 trillion, of criminal transactions. Wow, transactions between 1999. Now how this can go on this long? That's what I mean. It makes you question the Department of Justice, everything. Everything that we know as our society as the just law of our country, the regulators that are there to protect the people in trading and everything and markets, and it's safe to keep your money with banks. Banks aren't dealing with criminals. The U.S. dollar is the safest, least criminalized currency on the planet. All the things that we're told, right? Well, looks like somebody's lying. Are we surprised? Absolutely not. This is why I make my channel. We prepare for moments like this. If you've been listening to the motto, you're not worried at all. And then before I talk about my next thing, let's continue with the article. So, because that kind of brings me into my next topic, which I'm not quite there yet. I want to read a little bit more of this, but it says transactions between 1999 and 2017 that were flagged by financial institutions' internal compliance officers as possible money laundering or other criminal activity, the report said. Almost 90 financial institutions appear in the roughly 2,100 documents obtained, a fraction of the 2 million reports filed annually. Deutsche Bank dropped as much as 8.6% in Frankfurt, the most since April, while HSBC earlier slumped in Hong Kong, trading to its lowest share price in a quarter of a century. JP Morgan shares dropped 3.1% at 9:46 a.m. in New York as the S&P 500 Financial Index fell 2.3%. And who recently got out of bank stocks? Wasn't it Warren Buffett? Explain to me how he knew. Anyway, I guess he's just that smart. I guess that's why he's a financial guru. Maybe not. Who knows, right? Puts it in question. All right, next topic. So obviously the banks are out here doing dirt. Next topic. Pentagon used taxpayer money meant for masks and swabs to make jet engine parts. So the Pentagon is looking like thieves as well. They're stealing from the American people. They're telling the people that they're doing one thing and they're doing another with money. That is lying as well as stealing, in my personal opinion. And actually probably by facts. Probably also by facts, people. So I'm not going to really dive into this article. You can check it out. But more dirt from the government, more dirt from the people that we're supposed to be trusting, the regulators. Just seems like it doesn't end. And I wanted to wait to give you the price of gold and silver. As we see, they've been slammed down big time. Silver is all the way back under 1900. And I mean, gold is all the way back under 1900 and silver is under $24. These are great buys, great buying opportunities. Scoop these prices up. Do not get discouraged. Do not sell. Buy more. This is not financial advice, but strengthen your hands. You know what has value in the world. It only makes sense. All right. Gold and silver take a long time to mine. Fruit and vegetables, food in general takes a long time to grow. That's just a natural trend of the planet where things take time, things of value take time to be produced and harvested and mined. So you can't give somebody that ability to create this level of value out of thin air. And that's what we're seeing. That's the problem, the big problem in the world. And we're working on that. We're working on solving it. With that being said, the last topic, finally, JP Morgan to pay almost $1 billion fine to resolve U.S. investigation into trading practices. And I love how all these headlines don't say what the trading practice is. It's like they're still trying to cover it up. But if you dive into it enough, you do a little bit of reading, you find out what they were spoofing or lying about. Let's read through the key points. JP Morgan Chase is close to paying almost $1 billion to resolve government investigations into the alleged manipulation of metal and treasury markets, according to a person with the knowledge of the matter. A settlement between New York's based JP Morgan and several U.S. agencies could come as soon as this week, according to Bloomberg, which first reported news of the fine. The deal would resolve probes from the Justice Department, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and the Securities and Exchange Commissions. A penalty of that size would be a record for spoofing, which is when sophisticated traders flood markets with orders that they have no intention of actually executing. The practice was banned after the 2008 financial crisis. While JP Morgan may be forced to admit wrongdoing in the settlement, the deal isn't expected to result in business restrictions on other areas of the firm. Wow, said the person who declined to be identified, speaking about the government probes. Let's read that last part again. While JP Morgan may be forced to admit wrongdoing in the settlement, the deal isn't expected to result in business restrictions on other areas of the firm, said the person. So basically, a little slap on the wrist fine and get back to what you were doing. That's what it sounds like this is saying. You can dive into this article more if you want. Craziness is going on. Make sure you have your private keys. You have everything buried deep. You know what I mean? And that's all I really have today. A lot of dirt going on with the government. A lot of dirt going on with the banks. JP Morgan stocks dropped. Deutsche Bank, all the banking stocks dropped. about a couple weeks after Warren Buffett came out and said that he was selling all the bank stocks. Who could have guessed it? If you keep up with these things, it's really interesting, really neat to watch these things unfold. It's like seeing the future before the future unfolds, man. It's really interesting. A lot of us knew that these things were coming. It's just a lot of the people didn't know. And as we're seeing these things play out, it's getting crazy out here in the world of finances. Will there even be banks? I really don't know. Sometimes I question it. But that's why we dive into these things. And this is your boy Doc Blake with the last piece to the puzzle. I'll see y'all next time.